officers have arresting powers.
I mean, the funny thing is it's totally moot. Whether he doesn't have arresting powers for one thing, so he was never a customs protection officer. He took exactly what Logan Sandman was, and Logan told him, and he just took Logan's story, and now he's claiming he's on a higher rung than Logan. Fucking Ernie.
Just check it out.
Read it to me.
Oh. You see, hey, check it out, top right on this thing here.
First off, he's a felon. He can't even handle a firearm.
Right.
How is he going to have arrest powers?
How would he ever? He could have previously, because technically he wasn't a felon. But guess what? He didn't have arrest powers. He was a security guard.
Security guards don't have arrest powers.
Mm-mm. But Fraudy just put out a new DeWitt video.
I saw it. I got in the chat for a little bit today.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think everything's working now. I don't know what the issue was.
Cool.
I kept getting an snap. Something went wrong with StreamYard, but I've got it linked over to mine, even though the title and everything will be screwed up. But yeah, it seems to be. Hasn't kicked me out again.
Perfect. Cool. Well, citizen's arrest, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't have a badge, don't arrest people. What's up,
it's called false imprisonment at that point.
Lola. Lola.
Yes. CPOs, CPBOs, CBP officers, including Customs and Border Protection, also U.S. Custom, also Government Protection Customs. They can have and they can make arrests for violations of federal laws, particularly those related to immigration. Now, what's the biggest thing going on right now? Immigration.
Right. And if you arrest somebody, you're gonna be doing kidnapping.
And I mean it. Lord, people ain't gonna understand nothing, do they? Installing locks is not security.
This dude gets trolled a lot.
You're right. Yeah, you're exactly.
All right,
you're right.
Girl, thank you.
We are particularly like guarding stuff for ICE, so I mean,
the guarding stuff.
Even Bonnie Five had arresting powers, exactly. So here's the thing. So when they do transporting of
that's really weird.
When ICE makes arrests and they do transports, will you actually watch over those transports to make sure everything's secure?
I know.
We don't want. And the reason why we do that for is on the verge.
Yeah, they do now. But I'm gonna tell you guys, no, they don't.
I forget how delusional Ernie is.
Oh, he's very. We're gonna cover Dave's thing here, actually, not to take views from him, but go back to this. Also, thanks, hippie. What's up, Logan? Hey, Nomad. Holy shit, man. What's going on? Feel like I haven't seen you for a bit. All right, word. Get the rest of Ernie pretending to be an ICE agent now.
Because what we're doing right now with this. Nicolina, I was telling you earlier where the next roundup's going to be. Remember? Do you remember me saying that?
It's great OPSEC. Great OPSEC.
The next roundup?
Yeah.
What's he, a cowboy too?
We're doing a GoFundMe.
Get along.
That's going to be a big roundup. The one I was telling you about. So
he does wear that dumbass hat.
We're doing a huge predator.
Yeah, well, I got a hat too. Oh, but
I got my dick bag patrol hat on.
Oh, but you know what's underneath mine? Is hair.
Oh. Well, the good Lord only made a few perfect heads. The rest he put hair on.
We're going to be doing some big things with predators. There's a big predator roundup coming up right here in the next little bit, and we're going to be watching and doing stuff with that. That's going to be wild.
It's going to be wild. It's just going to be wild.
Guys, I'm making $34.50 an hour sitting here watching this big ass box. Literally.
Fuck you.
Watching the big box. That's all I'm doing. box over here.
Oh, shit! Pothead alert.
Yeah, Cap, we do. We all got hair, just not on our heads.
Okay.
Are you okay there, Pothead?
Okay.
You're a terrorist. I don't know
That
what
would
to
work
say.
right there.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm a shit. That's what I should have labeled it. I'm a terrorist now. I'll show the comment, but it's hilarious. I got told Sloan isn't going to negotiate with terrorists, and that's what I am. Which hilarious.
And from
If
what
he would let me do that, that would be amazing.
Sorry, what's that?
and from what I saw, he was questioning your military.
Oh, he was. I mean, he's threatened to dox me already, so dox me. If you know my shit, Sloan, go look me up. Go prove
You
I'm
know,
lying.
if you're so scared about being doxxed or having your information found out, and you are dealing with a community that has a lot of people that are questionable, maybe you should take up another hobby. Knitting,
if you're so sensitive about your military claims, maybe have a different hobby than one that you make all your military claims on. How about that? Pretty easy. Tim Kennedy does it just on a higher level, but it's the same fucking thing. Nobody went around forcing Tim Kennedy to be a relentless self-promoter, lying about his what seems to be apparently lying about a bunch of shit. Sloan.
Well, the guys in the special forces community are the ones that are calling him out the most.
That's the best. And yeah, I mean, now there's even more coming out about him. But so we'll get to him. Let's finish with Ernie and we'll get to Tim. Because the Tim shit.
Okay, so right here is where they're crossing over here.
Hey,
I'll just probably have to get out here in a second, do a round over here. It goes into the water, and again, that's just. Let me get up at these stadium lines here.
What's up, Mr. Nobody?
Okay, so
all right.
So crazy here, guys. I ain't gonna lie.
He ain't gonna lie.
I know. All he does is lie.
They'd have to sew his lips shut.
By the way, he lives in a fucking van now.
I thought he lost the van. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with Ernie. I mean, I've said my piece on him. I haven't been keeping up.
He puts out so much. I admit I watch more than I go in fits and what is it? Spurts and fits and spurts or whatever the fuck call it. Fits and starts. They spurt. So I'll watch a bunch of them for the show. I'll try and catch up with them on the show, but I can't if we're not going to do anything with him. Fuck him. I mean, he just lies all the time. He just lies about everything. It's fascinating, but also annoying. Fits and starts. Fits and spurts sounds,
Why are you gay?
Giggles and shits. Shits and giggles.
Check these loads out. This is good loads right here. In the end, I've done some PCP.
Boom.
I'm not going to be losing my shoes tonight. Not going to be losing my shoes, but I will be. I need that.
Hey, Cinnamon Girl, what? Cinnamon Girl, did you send it to Platoon hard drive? I'm not seeing the email. He is a catchphrase machine. He just repeats music lyrics. What's up, Ted? What is up, Ted?
Try to use my wife to bend me over.
Good luck, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. All right. I think that's it.
Hold on. All the time. So, oh shit, you can't be seeing that. Hold on a minute. Y'all be going back there in the back. Why not turn the fucking light off?
What's up, Tina?
Okay, come on.
Is it on your? Oh, okay. On your post or something.
Click back away. I swear to God.
Catchphrase machine there, Dago.
Okay, so
Fucking spelling Dago wrong. Stupid Baptist. All right. So that was Ernie. That was Ernie claiming that he is an ICE agent, that he watches stuff for ICE, that they are arresting people, that he is part of some kind of immigration roundup. And
He's securing their convoys of detained personnel.
Yeah, he's securing.
How's he securing it? He can't even have a weapon.
What are they securing? What were they? The transportation of it? Like, okay. And then we got this guy.
My 8 years, I got wounded in Iraq, and you know, I thank you for your service and for what you've done and what you've put up with. So,
I would like to see more of that panel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we got that. So when you were in and out, sorry, Bernsey was in here. Bernsey's going to send it on Tuesday. He's out of town, but he's going to send it on Tuesday. I want to watch the whole panel too. I'd be curious to see what else got said on there. Cheeky monkey, welcome to the chat, motherfuckers. Does this mean he's going to run stuff with Mexicans in the back of a van?
You know what I find really disheartening is people send me information or requests or clips, screenshots. They send me all kinds of stuff. I get it all the time. And what is really disheartening is that a lot of guys out there that are veterans, they feel that they have to provide me. They'll send me an email and say, hey, look at this. Oh, and by the way, here's a copy of my DD-214.
Yeah.
To
be honest, when I reached out,
I feel bad that they feel the need to do that.
When I first reached out to you, I gave you my bio, and I don't know if I gave you a DD-214 or not, but I might have. But I know I gave you some stuff like, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah, I don't. And I mean, I've seen your DD. You've had it on. Yeah, it's been all over.
No.
You didn't send it to me, but
okay.
When we first made the connection, we talked because I had you confused for another human guy that we used to take out in Mosul all the time. If you remember that.
I remember your story. Yeah, no, that was not me.
I
was never
in Guinea with a beard that we used to drop off out in the city.
Go see what he can round up. Yeah, no, that wasn't me. But yeah, it's a natural thing we do. So then when you are a person in this line of work or whatever, this line of hobby, you know, you gotta expect that your stuff is. So it's weird. It's weird when Sloan or even Ernie does it. You know, it's like it sets off. You're like, why aren't you just showing this? If you're making these claims, you should have it backed up. If you're like, hey, I don't have my DD-214 on me, I gotta go. Whatever. I don't know. You don't have to have it in your hip pocket 24/7, but at the same time, it's like you should be ready to have it.
I'd also like to know. I'd also like to know how old this panel is. Is this, you know, regardless? Hey, the internet's forever.
Yeah.
You make claims, bullshit claims like this on the internet. It's forever because it's being captured by everybody, especially in these communities.
Especially in these communities because there's a lot of dudes running around saying some dumb shit. I don't know if he's still doing it, but if you guys remember Biff Thundermuffin, I haven't seen him around in forever, but he I don't know if he still does, but a year ago he was saying, hey, I got all your stuff recorded, which I thought was a little weird, but whatever. I was like, huh. But I get why he does it. What if stuff goes south and now
it's doing good? I'm seeing the chats going between the two. I finally got it going over.
That's why we put our NJPs up front. We let it be known we're shitbags. True. Look at you. What's going on, Ben? What is going on? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I saw fucking God damn it. Where was the Australian contingent? It was Mears, right? Mirrors coming to muy caliente from the Australian contingent.
Oi, look at me. Look at me. You know what this is? Two bloody legends staring at each other. Fucking oath, mate.
Fucking oath, mate. What is going
Hey,
on?
you're a legend, all right. Yeah, friggin' terrorist.
This one is fucking good, though. I deserve this one.
You son of a bitch!
Fucking terrorist. Call me a terrorist.
I have.
No,
Wait, one more
brother.
time.
Hey, brother. I did my 8 years. I got wounded in Iraq, and you know, I thank you for your service and for what you've done and what you've put up with. So,
Okay,
It
the
sure
reason, only
does
reason,
sound like him. I mean,
sure does sound like him.
I'm not I don't do voice analysis, but it sure and fuck sounds like him.
It does.
But like I said, I'd like to see the whole panel, and I'd like to know a time frame on the panel.
Yeah. Well, once Bernsey said that he'll be back Tuesday, we'll be able to have that. And there's no rush on this, whatever. I don't know, Andrea. It just seems to me we can cover this a little bit more too, but go over because I also want to show the. Actually, why don't I just show it? Okay, so this is just his. Okay, this is from my Andrea Sloan, and look, I get it. Tagging people, all that. I just tagging them. I mean, I feel like if I'm calling into question him saying he's claiming to be a combat vet, I tag him to let him know. I'm not trying to harass anybody or anything. I don't do that anymore. No. But anyway, so yeah, there it is. It's his comments from this newest first 20 hours ago. Man, you are still grasping at straws, PotHead. I don't know what I'm grasping about. He said it. I'm not calling him stolen valor, by the way. But he has not been able or not been willing at all to prove anything about his claimed law enforcement time or his claimed military time. I believe he was in the Navy Reserve.
So here's the thing. Quite a while back, he sent me some documentation in confidence, which he's thrown it out in the public now by saying that I have the proof. Guys, if you're going to send me redacted shit, I have no way to verify it. Everything was redacted. I have no way to verify it. You didn't send me shit. Sorry. Do I believe it's probably what he sent me is legitimate? Yeah, probably. There's no DD-214. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
No
Purple Heart.
Well, and the thing is, if in fact he was in Iraq, he'd have a DD-214.
Yeah. Period. If he was in Iraq,
You don't do your fucking reservist weekend drill over in Iraq. It doesn't work that way.
And they did send sailors, by the way. They definitely
they were doing customs for us.
Yeah. Small boat guys were doing river shit. And then there's always the intel guys. And then once Navy Special Warfare got involved, there was like sailors for that stuff.
Well, one of our EWOs, electronic warfare guy. Yeah. I had a chief petty officer who was assigned to our company, and he'd go out with us, working on the Duke systems and that stuff. And we actually got him his cab. He was awarded an Army Combat Action Badge.
Nice.
So nice. He's probably one of maybe a couple in the Navy that have an Army Combat Action Badge.
Well, when I switched over to the Army, the ops chief, this Vinny guy, hippie knows him, Vinny, cop, he had been an SF dude, and he was like, "Hey man, you should get that combat action ribbon in the Marine Corps. It's a combat action ribbon, a car. You should get that car transferred to a CIB." because you were in recon, you had the 03, you know, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not losing my car. This is like if I get a cab from now, and I got a cab, but like later. But he was like, hey man, it's the Army. They look at your chest or whatever. And if you got a CIB right off the bat, I was like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm like, I'm not going through one. I don't want to do all that paperwork. Also, that Marine Corps stuff was important to me. So, Joey, I'm practically Ric Flair with all the wrestling to watch, or gay. Okay, so I also want to make very, very clear: Master Sergeant Retired has shown me, or has neither shown me or sent me anything that anybody has ever asked to be private, and that includes Sloan. It doesn't matter. He did not send me anything at all that Sloan sent him, at all. He described it, and he told me just what he just told you guys about it, and that's just because. And the only reason that's even being brought up is, one, I want everybody to realize that Master Sergeant Retired is not going to sell his integrity out, not for me, not for YouTube, not for any of this shit, right? And
and you're right. I don't.
And
yes, even the dick pics 30 Hippie sent me. They're private, and I won't release them. Yes.
So I just want to say that. So I haven't seen any of this stuff with of Sloan's or whatever. But Sloan keeps saying I sent the proof to Matt Sergeant Retired. So what he's doing then by saying that publicly, he said it to me on Facebook and he said it on here. I haven't interacted with him on Facebook in a month, but like he said Matt Sergeant Retired has the fucking proof. So what that does is now he's putting the onus on Matt Sergeant to say, no, it's not proof.
Anybody can take anything from the internet and redact everything on it, which is what I got. It's all redacted.
Yeah.
There's no way to verify it. So, yep, thanks for sending it. Do I believe it's legit? Yeah, it could be. No way to verify it?
Yeah. And then nothing about his police time, right? There was no proof of his police time, right? Other than just maybe his little narrative. So, yeah. So this is his response to me on here. You never asked me for anything, so why are you running your mouth? Okay. And you obviously don't know how things work either. How are they supposed to work? You're following a man who has never, I guess he's talking to Woodrow on this. You're following a man who is never straight enough, to get anything right. Ask him how many vets he has called out and not being vets now and been wrong every single time. Half wrong on Blue Bacon, totally wrong on Blind Justice.
But you never called him out.
Blind Justice?
You never publicly called him out, did you?
Yeah. Oh, I made some videos.
Did you?
Yeah. I was like, this is ridiculous. How are you,
right,
SF?
so 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I was definitely wrong on Blind Justice. I love it that I'm still in his head. How are you still in my head? And he's still making up bullshit that he knows nothing about. What is it that I wouldn't know anything about? There's a ton of questions here. I don't even know what it is what is it that I don't know how it works. And what is it that I don't know anything about? And then he says, he sent it to Master Sergeant Retired. That he means, and I did to send it to Master, and against my better judgment, I did. Okay. Well, how about against your better judgment? You made a bunch of fucking claims.
How about against your better judgment? Stop dropping my name as validation for your proof, because there is no proof. That's basic law enforcement 101.
Yeah. Fuck this guy. It's a KFAR thing. That's what he's doing. KFAR gave him the messaging of like, oh, stoned vet's always wrong, blah, blah, blah. He's like, they even called me stolen vet. Nobody ever called we called KFAR a doofus.
You called him a paint chipper, which he was.
He was a fucking paint chipper. That's all he did.
With that air scaling gun there, chipping away on the bulkhead.
And I called him a war dodger. and I stand by it. And I fucking stand by it. But I never called him stolen valor. And I don't know what
pothead criminal terrorist.
Right. Okay, so let's read this here.
And
I have nothing to prove to a pothead criminal. Hold on. I got to get ready for this one. I don't negotiate with terrorists. And that's what you've become since your military service, which I now question the legitimacy of. What's up, baby? Oh, man. Fucking this guy. This motherfucking weird. Sorry, I should have had this primed up for K-Farm.
I love the fuck out of cookies.
I love the fuck out of stolen valor. So, yeah. So I just said, I mean, you can read it. I'm not going to. But like I said, I'm not asking him for anything. I'm saying this guy refuses to show proof. I'm just pointing out that he's making these claims.
Let's talk a little bit about this.
Okay, let's do it.
When I got involved with the stolen valor stuff a long time ago, thisain'thell.us was the website. And John was a great mentor. And he told me straight up when I started asking him questions and I started doing some of the work and getting records on people, he said, just be prepared. You're going to be doxxed. You're going to be asked to validate your stuff. And you're going to have to do it. That's all there is to it. Be prepared. There's some crazy people. We had one guy that actually shot himself and tried to pin it on John.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
And he was a special forces phony. They found the gun in a plastic bag because after he shot himself, he threw it out the window.
I mean, the point is this. It's the same idea of like, don't ever bring a weapon into a fight that you don't, understand that it's going to get used on you, that you don't expect it to get used on you. Like, if you are going to go out and dox people and then call out a vet, he called out Tav. Totally fine. He was wrong about Tav, but totally fine to call. I don't care. Tav skirts the line on some shit. But I get it. And he kind of wants to bait people into calling them stolen valor so he can prove them wrong. But
the whole thing with Tav is he's wearing that hat, but he's not saying that he earned all those ribbons. I've never heard him say that these are the ribbons I earned.
Never.
He just wears the hat.
Yeah, totally. And then
he knows that it works people up.
Yeah. And it's also, according to him, and I'll take his word for it. I have no reason to disbelieve him. He said that his wife got him the hat right when he got out. Uh-oh, you froze up hilariously though.
Oh, jeez.
There you go. Hold on, I gotta get that. But Gadunk. I don't know if you can see you're frozen. God damn it.
I'm opposed to dildos.
I know, Lola, right? Well, and look, I mean, here's the thing. What do these dudes always do? They say a couple of things. One, I don't have to prove anything to you. I know what I did. Both of Kaiser said it, Sloan says it, Ernie says it all the time. I know what I did. I don't have to prove to you. And then they turn and go, I don't believe you're real. They all try and do that. Again, I'm not saying anything. Maybe all of this is him being purposely misleading to make people try to think he's stolen valor. Maybe he's doing kind of like that. But every sign that he has is the same shit that those dudes do. But okay, let's get to Tim, and then we'll finish up with Tim, and then.
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know what's up with the camera.
Yeah, no, I'm checking. We can hear you. No worries at all. Okay, so Tim Kennedy is a special forces master sergeant in the he's now in I guess 20th group out of they said Maryland. I believe that's all 20th group up there, but whatever. He is a National Guard's master sergeant, special forces master sergeant with the NATO detachment, which is kind of a lot of times where they sort of hide and slide dudes like that, like who've got a bunch of other shit going on. Tim has claimed he's got a V Valor device on his Bronze Star. The Anti-Hero podcast is Brent from who was a Delta Force operator, and then I can't ever remember the other dude's name, who was also military and law enforcement. So they broke the Tim Kennedy stuff first. So far, Tim's teammates and ground force commander have all come out and said he's lying. The shit he's claiming did not happen. And then this Hoekstead guy, he went and he contacted Army Special Operations Command, ARSOC, and he and they said he doesn't anything he says we don't vouch for. And then now they're pulling up stuff where there's a video where Tim is saying he got shot. Again, no different than this guy.
I have
No, brother. Hey, brother. I did my 8 years. I got wounded in Iraq, and I thank you for your service and for what you've done and what you've put up with. So.
Yep. So now let's hear Tim Kennedy act like a Navy SEAL and claim shit.
I'm going to find this.
Tim has also claimed, and they're going to break it down, Tim has also claimed to have killed women and children. Who else did that? Kaiser. These dudes are psychotic. First of all, if you did that, you're psychotic. But to make up a story where it never happened, and within that story, you tell people you've killed women and children, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the fuck?
Where is it? I have to give credit to the woman who sent me this video.
He's a great...
This video...
By the way, I'm hitting like. Oh, how am I not subscribed? I thought I was subscribed to him. David Hoekstead. He does great. He is not military. He's got no skin in the game. He gets a bunch of dudes. He had a Delta operator on, Tim Opalski, who I knew, superficially. PT'd with the guy. I was at a school with him. So he gets some good dudes. He gets a lot of good. He's respected in that community of the mill YouTubers. The SF Delta
is the video that put this back out in the wide open. I'm going to pull it up for you. I got this from a tipster. They sent this to me on social media. I'm going to throw it up on the screen for you here.
Ambush.
All right. Let me rewind it. So this comes from a 2012 episode of Deadliest Warrior. Okay. This aired 13 years ago, roughly, give or take what month it aired on. Tim Kennedy, it was Army Rangers versus North Korean Special Forces. Tim Kennedy was in there as someone who was representing the American side. Of course, Tim Kennedy was never in the Army Rangers, the 75th Ranger Regiment. He graduated Ranger School. Those are obviously not the same thing. So as you could see, the title of this was Tim Kennedy Lies About Getting Shot.
The amazing thing about this is Tim Kennedy has done a lot of shit. I mean, he lives on it's weird to see an SF guy be this outwardly self-promotion, but like he was an MMA fighter. That was for real. He really went and did some shit in Afghanistan as an SF team guy. That was for real. He was a sniper. That's for real. Like, he's done a bunch of real shit, but he just goes off and lies, and now he's fucked.
Tim Kennedy lied.
According to Valhalla VFT, another YouTuber, he's a former SF guy, former team dude. He's saying that there's an inside push now to get Tim's tab revoked. I mean, that's a big fucking deal.
Yes, it is.
That means you are PNG'd out of SF completely. There was somebody, I think on one of Dave's previous one to this too, or maybe it was Brent. maybe it was the anti-hero guy. Anyway, they were talking about apparently Rob O'Neill got PNG'd out of SEAL Team 6 too, which is all crazy. These guys are good. Rob O'Neill's going nuts apparently too. I just know it from these dudes, but man.
Yeah, man, to get for SF to take your tab, man, that's
it is something.
That's about as straightforward as it gets. Well, this is going to be shockingly difficult to believe. This is 100% real. 100% real. I pulled the whole episode, verified the clip. Let's watch what he had to say.
I was in Afghanistan, ambushed, overran, literally shot. Gun saved my life, and the magazine capacity was a big factor in it. And
Let's rewatch it.
then, literally shot. Gun saved my life.
Sorry, what was that, Tim? What was that?
Literally shot. And literally shot. Gun saved my
Tim was literally shot. He was literally shot after being overrun in Afghanistan. By the way, has anyone noticed that in all of TK's stories, the United States military is always getting overrun, always losing, always on the brink of defeat, always in a crisis? Did Tim go on any missions where the U.S. military just rolled in and kicked ass?
I mean, it's a good question. I did not realize, because I don't follow Tim Kennedy at all. And so, but yeah, once Dave mentioned that, it's like, damn, every single one of Tim's stories, which I've only been paying attention to now lately, but they're all of those dudes getting their asses kicked and somehow he does some shit.
yeah, Dark Watch. I heard that about him. I did hear, like I said, I don't follow it either. The special forces guys are dealing with him, and I'm a nobody. But I did hear the bit about the grenade going through the wrong. He asked somebody if he should throw a grenade, and he threw the grenade, and it was
that's hilarious.
The wrong window.
I didn't know that. I don't know. I assumed if you were with I mean, goes to show you, not everybody did. I was out in the villages with those team dudes. The dudes that were out in the vills were doing work. Those motherfuckers there was a lot of dudes doing work, but I could see them getting annoyed with Tim. I could see people getting annoyed with him. And I will say this, man, working with SF dudes, like I was slightly in a unit for a minute. In 19th group for a hot minute, but I was a human.
Yeah, but you're a terrorist. How the fuck could you be in the unit, you terrorist?
Right. I was not a team guy. I did take the screening and passed the screening to get into the training unit, which anyway, that's a whole other story. But they're like, you're 40. You're not going to see a team for 5 years. And that's if you make it through without getting hurt through everything. You're going to be the junior dude on a team at 45. And I was like, this weekend, kick my ass. Anyway, whole other story. But they don't seem to be afraid to move dudes away from. If you're not doing your shit, you're gonna get told and you're gonna get fired. Like my replacement, the guy who was supposed to come out and replace me in Afghanistan, coming from the States, and he got hung up at Bath at Bagram Air Force Base, and it was a hang up that was stupid. Because he's like, I don't have my body armor. I got to wait. And they're like, man, just get on the plane with some armor. We'll get you kitted out here. Because we were all the way out west in Herat. And he kept fucking dragging his feet. And the 3X dude, the CW3, CW3 that I worked for, he was like, you know what they call dudes who get stuck at Bagram? Not working for the SOTIF. I'm like, right, hey, I'm tracking. I immediately called him and I was like, you got to get the next thing moving out of there and get here now. I
thought they just called them fobbits.
Yeah, there's that too, just the fobbit. But it is weird to see a team guy not do anything. That means they probably got sick of him. They probably got fucking sick of him. Is it 420? It is. Let's turn this back on. We'll finish up with more Tim here, and then this won't be a long episode. Where are we at here? 51 minutes. We got 51 good motherfuckers at 51 minutes. Maybe we got a couple
Oh my holy crap. Surveillance does. I hate those.
It's going to get hotter. Cracker.
I'm opposed to dildos.
All right, let's do it. I know. Well, it's 3 here. All right, so let's do this. Turn this on and take a Bing rip.
Or is every mission staring death in the face? That's a great question. I'd like an answer to that. Because I was always under the impression that the United States military, for the most part, rolls in and rolls people. But TK is always on the verge of getting blown out. It's very, very odd. Yes, Tim literally shot Kennedy. Literally shot. I cannot wait to see how they're going to try to wiggle their way out of this one. So he says that, and we don't even need to actually wonder whether or not that's true. Of course, Tim was never shot, and I'm laughing at some of the things here. Remember, guys, get your super chats in. I will respond to them after each block when I have time. So we don't even have to wonder really whether or not this is a true story. Of course, we know it's not. There would be proof of it if it were, because this is what the Army sent me about Tim Kennedy's service record. Let's go ahead and look at this. Currently an 18Z Special Forces Senior Sergeant with the rank of Master Sergeant assigned to the U.S. Army Special Operations Detachment NATO, Maryland Army National Guard. 2003, enlisted in the Army as an 11B infantryman. 2005, Kennedy obtained the Special Forces tab and MSO 18B. Weapons Sergeant, was assigned to 7 Special Forces Group. He has served in both the Maryland and Texas Army National Guard. His professional military schools include Ranger School, Special Forces Qualification Course. Each level of the professional development course include Master Leader Course, blah, blah, blah. Combat Infantry Badge, Bronze Star. I have to pull the comments off the screen real quick. Meritorious service record with 2 Oakley clusters.
Lake Life. I think it's just because I don't expect it. And you're every time you fucking come in with these, it always makes me laugh. I shouldn't encourage it. I discourage it, but funny.
The Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal with an oak leaf cluster, as well as Joint Service Achievement Medal. So I'll leave this up on the screen a little bit longer so you guys can all see it, and you'll know that I'm not making it up. It's 100% true. How do you get shot?
Had that meeting with
How do you get shot? Yeah, and as people are pointing out, there's no V device there. Obviously, we know that to be a fact. How do you get shot and not get a Purple Heart? That
was Kaiser's thing too?
Yeah, and you know, nobody puts you in for it. When you go to the cache, it's like automatic.
I think they talk about it. I think this is the one where they were talking about like I think someone in his chat's like, yeah, that's exactly right. You go in, it's automatic. They put in a card, and as long as it's for enemy fire.
Yep.
Like,
is
that even possible?
I never had to put. We only had one guy get a Purple Heart in my platoon, and I didn't have to do anything. He went to the cache. He got treated. The paperwork went in. He got his Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Nothing from the unit ever had to be done.
So
in other words, if you claim you got wounded in Iraq, you would have a Purple Heart, and that would be, you can't say, well, my unit put me in for it, and then I didn't want it. I've heard that before too. I turned them down. I said I don't rate it. Like, shut the fuck up. And then but if you were wounded in Iraq, you would have a Purple Heart. If you're wounded. And again, I want to reiterate, with Sloan, to go back, there's very specific wording. If he said injured, that would have given him, look, I would never say I got injured in Iraq. Because to me, I would be too much implying I got injured in combat, and I wasn't. And so, but if you say injured, that's different. You could have got hurt somehow, whatever.
I did. I got injured. I fell down the fucking off the stairs inside of a guard tower at Badouche prison and broke a bunch of ribs.
Oh my God.
Had absolutely nothing to do with anything combat. So, you know.
But you would never say I was wounded.
I was a fucking klutz. I slipped. It was rainy season. I had 3 inches of mud on my boots. And they don't have OSHA in Iraq. So it's like metal grate steps with nothing on them and no handrails.
That's funny. But you would never say wounded. Because if you said I was wounded in Iraq, there's nothing else to infer from that other than combat. It's a term of art, as the lawyers would say. Like to say you're wounded in Iraq means you got wounded in combat. Dirty hippie. Jimmy was Baku. Shouldn't give his name. I guess he's not a public guy. Jimmy, one of Hippie's teammates. Or no, you guys were down in pack. Anyway, third ID tried to give Jimmy a Purple Heart for a thorn they had to dig out of his shoulder. He got it fighting with an Iraqi. He was wrestling with one of our dudes. We laughed. Oh, like one of the Terps, or one of the dudes you were with. Hippie was. Do I have that picture? Hippie's got a really good. Let me see if I got it handy. There's a really great one of Hippie with all those Iraqi dudes, and Hippie's got his fucking. Sorry, guys. Just since we're doing this, Hippie's. I just love this fucking because it's so goddamn hippie. So Pick is the tall guy. Oh, whoops, sorry. No. Pick is the tall guy. Pakula. Shit. God damn it. And there's Hippie. They were embedded with the Iraqi police. I can't. That picture is so fucking hippie. Shit just makes me laugh.
All he needs is a peace sign on his helmet cover.
I don't listen to your authority. Hippie's not short, by the way. I forget how fucking big and how tall fucking Pakula was, man. Look at this. That's some fucking Iraqi 05 right there, baby. All right, let's get back to Tim. Ba-dum boom. Gadush. Where you at, Tim? There you go.
Me, feel free to let me know in the comments if it's possible you could ever get shot and that you would not have a V device. So this is quite frankly one of the most egregious claims from Tall Tales Timmy, as I'm calling him now.
My bad. So you were embedded with the army, Iraqi army, just to clarify. I was wrong on that. I can't believe how wrong I am sometimes. Clip it, Sloan. Yeah, the police couldn't be trusted for shit. They were all run by the Shia.
To go on national TV and claim that you got shot is so ridiculous when we have your Army service record up on the screen right now. How is he going to explain this one away? Literally shot. Where on the body, Tim? Where did the bullet enter? Where did it exit? What were the circumstances when you got shot? Okay, here we go. Someone who's an expert said, no, it's not. A medical card, a casualty card is filled out. You get evaluated, and then you get an award as long as it's enemy fire. This is, it's not possible to get shot in combat as part of the
Yes, exactly what we were saying.
United States military and it just not have any record. And I'll tell you this, there's another person out there I know with a pretty large scale, large presence and in a position of relative power who also might not have been overly truthful about a gunshot wound he received and records about that. So maybe if I get bored.
Any clue on that? I don't know I would have no idea who he's even hitting at. Makes me wonder.
One day I'll look into that even further. So that's a video of him on national TV.
Okay, I want to get to him on the Sean Ryan. Oh, here's where he says, Tim Kennedy, I'm asked daily about how and why I don't have PTSD. I'm probably the last person on earth you should ask about this stuff. I have killed kids and women during war. This is all on the screen in the blue there. I have seen my friends and fellow soldiers burn alive. My adult life is filled with the things horror movies are made of. And so the Army said, is not any statements or disclosures that Master Sergeant Tim Kennedy regarding his service says regarding his service is not endorsed by nor representative of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, they are. I think it's. Is he talking about Vance? I don't know. Did Vance say he was shot?
No, I don't think so.
It's probably another YouTuber, I bet. Right? Or like influencer or something, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I didn't know if there was like a secret stolen valor group text. Doing like you and Steve and Don. And
They left me out.
Adult life is filled with things horror movies are made of. Of course, that comment was immediately essentially disavowed and said is not endorsed by nor representative of U.S. Army Special Operations Command. So I searched high and low, started searching the internet the best I could.
So the point also with the Tim thing is, one, it's to show, because it is a story that's out there and it's stolen valor, and we look at stolen valor stuff here sometimes, often. But also to show, like, it goes on at every level. Like, this isn't just like low level dipshits like Sloan. There are people, and it's good to have this stuff get sussed out. It benefits everybody for it to get sussed out and to get it fucking like, are you lying or you're not? Because if you're lying, that's not good for anybody. And it's good to show. Like, the SEALs seem to kind of like allow it, or for a while they seem to be fostering it, in my opinion. But it's good to see the SF guys, in my mind, because I worked with these guys. I was in an SF unit for a hot minute, and then like, I don't know. So I feel closer to that, to working with them than the SEALs. But it's good to see these guys push bad guys out.
To find any claim that would back this up, that would back up the idea that Tim Kennedy had killed women and children. I was only able to find one story of that ever happening, and it was on the Sean Ryan show. And I'm going to pull it up here. I want to make sure I have the timestamp correct. So it's I'm going to pull it up here. Give me a second. I'm still working on that.
Sorry, let me
right.
cut forward.
So to this sniper shot on what he played. This is the only evidence I ever found of this. Let's go ahead and play Tim Kennedy talking about making a 600-yard sniper shot on what he thought was possibly like an 11-year-old, I think, that had a non-functioning rifle. Let's listen to his story.
Holding the head of a baby on his shoulder, and he's carrying an AK, and I see that he's wearing a VBIED vest, and he's running towards an American unit.
Carrying the head of a baby? What?
For context, Tim
is
saying there what he thought it was going to be like. That's not something he actually did. He was saying that's what he thought it was going to be like. Now he's going to say what it actually was.
Yeah. It was a child carrying a 1875 lever action British rifle, and he was moving in resupply points between this Taliban machine gun position. I saw him move a couple of times. I didn't know how old he was. He's about 500-600 meters. There's like hours of limited visibility. So like I see a guy with a gun moving from like the far side of a hill to a machine gun position. He does it a couple of times. So the next time that I see him moving, I shot him. Very rarely do you get to go and see the people you shoot as a sniper. And this was in our direction of travel. So
all right. So there he's talking about when the shot is made and they're moving in their direction of travel. And now he's going to tell a story about how he goes and retrieves this gun, which he is hanging up in his office. And then I'm going to break down a lot of things before we get into some pretty interesting responses to people who were there.
Do you know how much
caravan
paperwork you have to do to bring a weapon back from theater?
Oh yeah.
And individuals cannot do it. It has to come back. It's typically, set as a unit trophy kind of thing, and the unit brings it back, not an individual.
They Hippie and I had dudes. I forget. Hippie may remember their name. I don't remember their names, but there was dudes in our unit that got busted bringing weapons back in a Connex box, and they got in some big trouble for that shit.
Yes, you will.
I don't know if Hippie's still in here. Not to say their names, but like, you know,
we had some guys that hid some AK-47s in the tail boom of a Blackhawk when we came back from Grenada, and they got caught. It was a CW something and a staff sergeant, CW3, I think. And they got caught. It was a big deal on Fort Bragg when they got caught.
Oh, that was at the first deployment? Oh, okay. Yeah, then there was we had a dude in Recon Battalion coming back from the invasion. God, I forget his fucking name. Again, I wouldn't say it, I guess if I remember. It was a good dude, but he had cut out the foam of the Humvee seats of his team's Humvee seats and had ammo and AK pieces and shit like spread out broken up through the truck, and they fucking found it. And that was the invasion. They weren't checking shit. I mean, it felt like, I don't know. It's weird that he got caught, but he got caught. I think he was going early. I think he was like advanced party. That's how they got him. But,
yeah, he was advanced party going back to the rear too, I bet.
Oh, totally. That's what it was. Yeah. No, we were leaving. We were at Diwania, and he was one of the dudes that was like the advanced party to go home. And
yeah, advanced party in Leavenworth.
Yeah, not a good thing. I was like, oh shit. We hadn't even. I mean, he got busted. Like, we heard about it very quickly. So it was like, fuck it. I'm not even taking the risk of anything. I want to go home.
Move in that direction, and I come and I see this 11, 12-year-old kid with a rifle. Actually, have you ever come to my office in Texas, in Austin? I have this gun hanging on my wall. Right underneath it is the CENTCOM permission from the JAG for me to bring. It's not a war trophy. They said it's not even functional. And I also have U.S. Special Operations Command JAG authorizing me, and I have both of them, like the stamped, approved. What were those, like little squeeze things that put a permanent mark on the paper?
Yeah.
You know, with the JAG signature.
Seal.
Yeah, with their little pressure seal. Both of those things sitting right underneath there. And it reminds me.
Okay, there's also, I'm going to skip ahead briefly here, because there's also a part where he goes back to this narrative that they're just getting their asses handed to them, apparently at all times.
Every time I hear a politician say, like, why do you need a gun? Like, what is the importance of the Second Amendment? We have F-16s and F-18s and M1 Abrams. And I think back to a little boy, a peasant, a nomad that had been kicking the American Special Operations ass in this valley for 3 days.
It really is. Look, the Korengal Valley, I don't think he was in Korengal, though, was he? I don't know. Does somebody know? Korengal Valley, River Valley, was fucked up. But that wasn't like a bunch of 11-year-olds. That was like hardened fucking Haqqani fighters and shit.
And he's running around with an 1875 musket, one man with a rifle protecting his own land, how powerful he is and the power of the Second Amendment, and how this insurmountable force of one good guy with a gun, how powerful that is. So that's one reason.
All right, hold on. How is this 11-year-old kicking the ass of U.S. Special Forces with a weapon that either did or didn't function? We don't know. And he's 11 years old with a gun that's, what, 150 something?
Yeah, a buddy of ours that we were in Iraq with, he went green to gold. Eventually he became an SF officer. His infantry time, because you got to do I don't know how, you got to have at least one platoon command, I think, right? Something like that for SF officers. But he had to command a platoon, and he had command of a platoon in Afghanistan, and they were in Korengal Valley, and they had a New York Times reporter with them, and they got one of his snipers got a knife kill, put a fucking knife through the dude's eye. Got it on record. It's fucking nuts, dude. And they got a bunch of video. It's crazy. it's really cool. It was really cool to see. He was just one of those dudes. You're like, this guy is going places. Justin is going places.
Something years old, and he's dominating this.
We're just gonna finish with this. I don't want to make this too long. We're not gonna like sit on Dave's thing.
Convoy. This 11-year-old is raining hellfire with an old musket on U.S. Special Forces. Does that sound believable to any of you? Does it sound believable that the most elite military unit on the world in a convoy with Green Berets who go through some very difficult training somehow were getting torched by an 11-year-old? Pretty suspect. But I do want to hedge here.
Sounds like a fucking movie script.
I think it's very possible. Okay, someone's pointing out lever action, not a musket. My bad. I'm not an expert on firearms. So if I mess that up, I apologize. I don't think it's impossible that Tim Kennedy has an old style rifle that possibly he brought back, and he has the 2 different JAG orders that were signed hanging up somewhere. I don't doubt that's possible. Let me pull up my phone real quick, because let me make sure I'm doing this in order. I got to double check my notes.
No, brother.
Yes, I am doing this in order.
I did my 8 years. I got wounded in Iraq, and you know, I thank you for your service and for what you've done and what you've put up with.
So, Travis, do we all know Travis?
Hey, go back to that clip again. Was Kaiser on that panel too?
That's who he's thanking for his service. He's thanking Kaiser for his service.
So that's an old man. I would love to see that panel.
It's an old Kaiser panel. He is literally thanking Kaiser for his service, and KFAR is on it. Let me just one more time.
No, brother. Hey, brother. I did my 8 years. I got wounded in Iraq, and you know, I thank you for your service and for what you've done and what you've put up with. So.
Yeah. Thanking Kaiser for his service, dude.
What's the common denominator on that panel?
Let's see here. It starts with a K and
ends with a cookie.
Fat.
I love the fuck out of cookies.
Huh? Isn't that weird? Isn't that fucking weird?
I mean, can handle it, but it's a lot, and I love it.
This is a text message. Travis saw this being talked about. Travis Warlock was the ground force commander of the infamous, legendary, famous, infamous. I don't want to say infamous because that has a bad connotation. It's become infamous thanks to this book that was written and all the disputing counts. So Travis Warlock was the ground force commander of this convoy, of this operation, which is what Tim Kennedy appears to, in the timeline, pinpoint this event happening, because he's talking about 3 days in the valley, which is when it's been discussed, is referring to the fire base Anaconda and the convoy there. So Travis texts me. I can't throw these texts up on the screen. I asked him if I could read them out. He said yes, that would be fine.
So just as if you're paying attention to something else, or if you're paying to the chat, not you, top of the audience, whatever, who he's about to say is the ground force commander that was Tim's boss, his boss's boss, the team's boss, right? I think in some cases the ground force commander, when we lived in the village in Afghanistan, at least when we were in the villages, I believe the captain, either the MARSOC captain or the ODA captain, I think they acted as ground force commander because they could direct mortars and shit like that. I'm pretty sure. But in this case, it's going to be above, I believe, right? Am I thinking right? Do you know?
No clue.
Okay. Perfect. But anyway, it would be no higher than a lieutenant. It would be like a lieutenant colonel or lower. But what I mean by that is it's not somebody 10 people directly, 10 people removed from Tim Kennedy. It's somebody who would have day-to-day oversight on what the team was doing, just to give you an idea. And then he's texting with David Hookstead, and he's telling him this is all bullshit.
Did Tim Kennedy shoot an 11-year-old at 600 yards? No, I never heard that, nor did anyone else on the team that I spoke to. I was not aware of anyone recovering a rifle from the battlefield to take home. Either situation, TK taking a 600-yard sniper shot hitting a child or recovering a rifle from that engagement would have generated talk among the team. No security element left the beaten path the convoy was taking. I never stopped so that an element of the convoy could maneuver independently 600 yards to recover that rifle. He rode in our team vehicles back from...
Okay, this is a big thing. So what he's saying is Tim's security detail would have was writing that this happened on one of those security details for a convoy security. Okay, cool. With the convoy security. And what this dude is saying is there's no way that the security would have detached from the convoy to let them operate independently without that security team. Basically, your beefed up security. Chuck, what's going on?
Firebase Anaconda to Kandahar, we had 4 team vehicles. The likelihood that he had a foreign weapon in one of our trucks would not have escaped our attention. So that is Travis Warlock. Also, Travis Warlock, home of runs Appalachian tactical acquisition courses. I might go shoot with him. I haven't shot in a long time. I should probably improve my shooting skills a little bit more. But that comes direct.
Sorry, I'm just.
And for clarification, Tim says 11 or 12. Not that it makes any difference. I was not aware of anyone recovering a rifle from the battlefield to take home. Either situation, TK taking a 600-yard sniper shot, hitting a child, or recovering a rifle from that engagement would have generated talk among the team. No security element left the beaten path the convoy was taking. I never stopped so that an element from the convoy could maneuver independently 600 yards to recover that rifle. He rode in our team vehicles back from Firebase Anaconda to Kandahar. We only had 4 team vehicles. The likelihood he had a foreign weapon in one of our trucks would not have escaped our attention. So that is directly from the ground force commander of the mission. Okay? That's from the guy running the show. He didn't see it. He didn't hear about it. No.
So the guy in charge of that mission, it could most likely a captain if it's SF.
Mm-hmm. I believe that. That's the way I'm understanding it too. That it's a captain.
All the missions that we did with SF, because they had to take the Iraqi police with them. Mm-hmm. And in order to take the Iraqi police with them, we had to go with them to keep the Iraqi police in line. Since we were training them, we had a guy, Glasgow, his call sign was Glasgow 6. And we used to call him Baywatch 6 because he was from Florida. And he just looked like a surfer boy. But he was in one of the guard units, SF guys. His wife was a Air Force lieutenant colonel, I think.
And out of 20,
Eglin,
probably out of Tampa.
Eglin area.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Baywatch 6.
No one he talked to saw it. No one he talked to heard about it. Either the 600-yard shot or the weapon that he took back.
Yes, Cap.
Again, I'm not, as Brent Tucker would say, I'm not going to hang my hat on this. I'm not going to hang my hat on the fact that Tim Kennedy might have an old lever action or some kind of old 1875 gun hanging up in his office with stamped letters of approval from the JAG officers. That's possible, I guess. The problem I'm having is the 600-yard sniper shot that took out an 11, 12-year-old.
Just so
who was armed with a weapon that either...
Man, it must be the...
So
I got the hold on, let me... Okay, cool. I don't want to share.
You're asking an awful lot if you want him to check his email.
I want to show but I want to make sure I'm not like giving away anybody's email. Okay, cool. So here is the rifle that Tim Kennedy says he has. Let's do this. That doesn't do any better.
Zoomy.
There it is. Yeah. Let me see.
Plus.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was thinking it was just gonna perfect. Well, that's not perfect, but that's the best. What's that kind of old Enfield?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, so but he's also got. Hold on, he's got the. But let me. AVN. This is all courtesy of AVN.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're safe. Statute of limitations is out.
The vehicle in front of me.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. This is Tim.
The whole entire world goes black.
If you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun.
Something became extraordinarily clear in this valley. That is that a single man fighting for his land is an insurmountable force. Just one person making a choice to fight for what they love and what they stand for. That is a hard thing to defeat. I keep on my wall this rifle right here. I brought this rifle back from Afghanistan, and I had CENTCOM say that I was allowed to bring it back. I had USASOC, who I was working for. They said that I could bring it back. You see the CENTCOM JAG signature. And we have the paralegal from Special Operations Command. And this rifle came from the Urzgan Valley. There was...
Yeah, he probably bought it from a farmer.
Yeah.
Later find out a young man that was walking the ridge line. It was dusk. We've been blown up. We've been in this tick. We've been in this troop in combat for a day and a half. And
for a day and a half? A day and a half on a convoy? On a tick on a convoy?
On the horizon, walking on this ridge line is
because he's
clearly
a liar.
A military age man in the middle of an ambush carrying a rifle.
Am I is everything good? I feel like it's all kind of okay, cool. Now everything seems back. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, Missy Eye Girls, because the guy lies about this stuff. It sounds like a Kaiser lie.
He's 400 or 500 meters away, and
very long.
I shoot him. This is in our direction of travel.
400 or 500
when I get there,
meters, and then it was 600 meters, and
right. He's a sniper too, supposedly. So I mean, I guess he is for real. I guess that he did go through that school. I guess you would know. Aren't you pretty exact as a sniper? Don't you think? But it went from 400 to 400 to 500, 500, 600.
100 meters. You got to make some pretty good changes.
Yeah. It would seem like you would know if you kill the kid. If you kill the kid, I sort of feel like, I mean, maybe you don't want to access some of those memories, but like, I feel like those details will be pretty seared into your head. I mean, that'd be me. I don't know.
This is hours later, by the time we actually make it to where he was. This is the rifle that was in his hands. This is the rifle that he clearly was a low-level Taliban soldier that was probably being used for resupplies. Was he one of the foreign fighters that were there? There were lots, hundreds of them that had been imported from a bunch of neighboring countries to include Iran. But this young man was carrying this rifle. They have defeated every single superpower that have come into their sovereign borders for, like a recorded history. You go back to Genghis Khan, right? They beat the British, they beat the French, beat the Americans, they beat the Russians. When I say beat, I mean, we spent how many trillions of dollars fighting in the Middle East, specifically in Afghanistan?
Oh, shit. This is on his channel from a year ago. Wow, so he still has this up.
Afghanistan, to then evacuate in one of the most humiliating evacuations in American history. And it was one man with a rifle. I have this rifle on the wall to remind me, one, about the importance of the Second Amendment, to remind me how powerful it really is when an armed group of people standing for what they believe, how difficult they are.
Also, my experience, and everybody's experience may differ. I don't know. I was out west and down south. I was in Helmand and Herat and Baghdis. And my experience is those dudes would kill their brother for land. They didn't give a fuck. But, you know, I'm just saying, it's not just the rifle. It's that they just didn't give a solitary fuck. And look, a lot of that's from years and years of war, but it's also the time-space ratio is super lopsided out there. Man, you could live in a village and maybe you interact with another village. Maybe you don't ever. It's crazy.
Chuck, I wonder if they make a toothpaste that's they get that tartar control. Maybe they should make one for bullshit control.
I mean, and this is an SF dude. I mean, it's not just some, Navy reservist.
No, brother. Hey, brother. I did my 8 years. I got wounded in Iraq, and I thank you for your service and for what you've done and what you've put up with.
Yeah, I'm thanking Kaiser for his service. I know. Hey, Jay Roberts, Army vet, Iraq vet, his goddamn self. What's going on, Jay? Most people would just shut the fuck up as the truth started coming out. Not Tim. He wrote a book and went on podcasts with more lies. He's very Navy SEAL-ish. He's very look at me Navy SEAL-ish.
To beat. It's on my wall because it reminds me that we don't need F-15s. We don't need F-35s. The First Amendment is so powerful, and it is really the most unique thing about us to keep us
Is he going to become a First Amendment auditor?
That would be hilarious. Tim Kennedy, headline, Tim Kennedy loses it. Loses everything in stolen valor. Fucking find out now, First Amendment auditor, Tim Kennedy at the fucking post office. Oh, yeah, Rick. Yeah, another dude thinking Kaiser. And with K-Fat right on the panel.
Have three thoughts, and free thoughts, we as capitalists, we talk about free.
Sloan specifically said wounded. Specifically said wounded. He also said, I didn't play that thing. I've now played it 1,000 times. It's in my shorts.
Market. But in the United States, this free market is mostly of ideas. And if you start censoring, if you start silencing people, because will always rise. And the Second Amendment is what it is.
Okay, I don't care.
I have good friends.
But this is the rifle that he's talking about. So let's go back. Yeah, fuck his politics. I don't care about that. Though I have to say, it always makes me laugh, and I don't mind pointing it out. We're not political on here, but I feel like, why do all these fuckers vote the same as me? I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, Woodrow, K4, the Cookie Monster, is definitely a common element. It's like he attracts them. I don't know if it was from all those years of chip and paint. They're just looking for the lead paint chips to eat or what. I don't know.
It seems weird. I mean, it seems weird until you think about it, because he was just isolated on a Navy ship for 4 years. Well, hundreds of thousands of other people went to war. But but it's weird that he just doesn't even have any spidey sense for these dudes at all. Nothing. Like, you would think after getting burnt so badly by Kaiser that you would be like on high alert. I mean, that's how I would feel. Be like, fuck, high alert now. I ain't letting anybody fucking fool me like that again.
I'm guessing this is before Kaiser ever got outed. So, you got Staff Sergeant, 3 tour, 2 Purple Heart, shot a kid, RPG in the grill. You got him on panel.
Enough to earn himself 2 Purple Hearts and 3 tours, as he put it. He Army Staff Sergeant, 10 years. I mean, he was either in 10 years or 20 years, depending on when you talk to him. Shot a kid, just like Tim Kennedy says, made up a story about him shooting a kid, claimed to have been shot twice in his shoulder, still had frag in his back. Army Ranger, Army MP, was in a Humvee, where
RPG.
RPG stopped an up-armored Humvee going 70 miles an hour. Yeah, that's right. KFAR believed all this shit.
I think it was an RPG that stopped him.
Yeah, and then that it stopped the. Uh-oh. You still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, maybe it. I wonder what happened there.
Well, that's good because we've been going an hour and a half.
Have we? All right, cool. That's probably enough. Anyway. Yeah. All right.
Sunday afternoon chat with SV, the PotHead terrorist.
83. Yeah, so I'm a terrorist. I am a terrorist now. I don't know. Sloan, you don't have to show me anything. I don't care. I don't know what you think we're negotiating or whatever. Yeah.
Ahmed.
Abu Shakir. That was my Mahmoud. Abu Shakir. That's common nickname for Mahmoud. At least Kaiser was a gunsmith. Whoa. Irabin. In an army truck. Oh yeah, Jimmy. Oh yeah. Kaiser had some good ones.
More like Alibaba.
Taliban style haircut. Look at that. Look how I had two pool days. Hell yeah. It was great, man. It's fun having friends that have stuff. So, all right. Chuck Norris was there. Yep. All right, cool. You got anything else? Otherwise, we'll end it there. Oh, since it's my show, we're on my thing here. I'm going to end it with the traditional bong rip. For everybody else, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Quick afternoon.
Thanks for having me up. I appreciate it. Sorry about all the technical issues. I don't know what that was all about.
Whatever.
Shit happens.
Yes, it does.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
Two big brass ones. As a matter of fact, I'll be leaving for the track Thursday. Going to see if we can back up with a couple of more wins this coming weekend.
Nice. Oh shit! All right. Thanks for joining, fuckers. Pothead 6.
I want you to take the Frankenstein shit, the deer shit, the green monster, the bling, and the bling bling. And I want you to roll it all into one joint.
Which kills. I'm good.
Racist.
No one's ever been brave enough to try that.
One man is. Roll it.
Not feeling super confident about this plan.
Racist.
I'll smoke it with you, bro. We'll go to the loony bin together. I don't give a fuck.